Well, several months ago, Britain first changed tactics with regard to our fight-back operations on the streets. Up until that point, we were specifically targeting Muslim extremists like Anjem Choudhury, Abu Izzadeen. We was taking the fight literally to their front doors, to where they worked. We was chasing them off the streets. We was opposing them everywhere they showed their head. And that campaign has been so successful that the government has actually stepped in and actually banned all of Anjem Choudhury's groups all over again. So now they're very quiet. They're not out there on the streets. They're not preaching hatred. We haven't heard or seen from them for about 6 weeks now. So what the pressure, the relentless pressure of opposing the Muslim extremists has worked. But several months ago we started doing something new that's never been done in this country. We started invading mosques up and down the country. From Scotland to Kent, we invaded mosques with specific reasons, whether it's to fight Muslim grooming gangs, or to challenge extremism, or to expose Muslim grooming gangs. We went specifically into mosques. It's caused enormous controversy. And that is what we set out to do. Because we sit here, how can we, as an up-and-coming group, one of the largest in the country, how can we stun and jolt the establishment into action? How can we put all of these issues, make them prominent, get them recognised, get them talked about? Muslim grooming gangs, radicalisation, terrorism, second-class treatment of women, female genital mutilation. How can we get these issues into the public domain and cause a big stir? So we started invading these mosques up and down the country. And quite frankly, it has worked, because all of those issues now are being addressed, they're gaining recognition, and quite frankly, Britain First has received a gargantuan amount of publicity. We've been in newspapers up and down the country, we've had questions in Parliament, we've had emergency meetings with the Home Secretary, we've been on BBC, ITV, we've been on RT, we've been all over the world. It has caused some controversy, because obviously we're going into these places of worship and quite rightly showing them no respect whatsoever. But people at home have got to realise the bottom line is that these mosques are where Islam is taught. They're where it's espoused. And it's in the Quran, the second-class treatment of women, the Muslim grooming gangs, the disrespect and the hostility towards the kafir, the non-Muslims, us. The 100 or so verses in the Quran that instruct Muslims specifically to wage jihad or show hostility to the kafir, to the non-Muslims. It's all taught, espoused, and all the radicalisation takes place in mosques. So people might say, why are you going into mosques? It's disrespectful. We're going into mosques because that's where you trace everything back to. That's where it's all traced back to. So that's why we go in there. And quite frankly, so far, there's not been any incidents, there's not been any fights, no disturbances, anything at all. So we've gone into these mosques, we've made our point, we've caused a national storm, and that's what we set out to do. And we did it deliberately and on purpose. And it's got to the point now where we're going to wrap it up. We're not going to bother doing this anymore. We're going to concentrate on other things. You know, with Britain First, we've always got something up our sleeve. We're always organising something. We're always planning and scheming and, trying to address the dangers that affect the British people. And so we've invaded these mosques over a period of several months, 2 or 3 months or so. It's caused a massive storm. And quite frankly, we don't need to do it anymore. That's been done. It's been done, and we can move on from that. So we're going to call a halt to our mosque invasion campaign. And it's caused a big storm, which is what we intended. So now we're going to move on to other things. We're going to move on to going back to confronting these Islamic extremists, because we've been looking today, monitoring Facebook's personal Facebook accounts. Quite frankly, all the extremists that got banned recently, the groups, they're still out there under various guises. They're still out there with Team Islam t-shirts on, still giving out literature, still whipping up hatred against our people in our country. So we're going to go back to what we was doing before and what we do best. That's right, Christian patrols. We're going to be, but not only that, confronting the extremists, we're going to be holding more normal political activities. We're going to be holding massive days of action in cities across the country, giving out tens of thousands of leaflets all over the kingdom. So that's what we're going to be doing. So we set out deliberately with these mosque invasions to cause a furore, to cause a big storm. We've achieved that. We've done it, we're going to leave it now, and we're going to move on. And there's plenty of things we can get our teeth into around the country. There's new mosque applications for construction of new mosques, mega mosques all over the country. There's our online campaigns. There's Christian patrols. There's the extremists that seem to be growing and proliferating. Although they keep getting banned, it puts them on the back foot for a while, and then they emerge under a different banner, under a different umbrella. But rest assured, Britain First is not going anywhere. We've done our mosque invasion campaign. It's been tremendously successful in putting us on the map, into frightening the life out of the establishment, frightening the life out of the police. Because quite frankly, we've still got the capability to carry on that campaign. We're still here, we're not going anywhere. And if certain action is not taken to address these concerns, we'll just go and do it all over again. But right now, we're going to step back from that because it is causing a huge amount of controversy. And we're going to go on to other things. We've got plenty of things up our sleeves. And rest assured, Britain First is not going away. It doesn't matter the pressure or the danger or the hostility we face. We are never, ever, ever going to go away. I'm no Tommy Robson. I'm no Nick Griffin. I will never back down in the face of threats or danger or hostility or having my name dragged through the gutter by the lying left-wing media. None of it is going to stop this movement now. We're here to stay. We've proved our mettle. We've showed our determination, and things are going to carry on, and we're going to get bigger and more successful. This is now the front line for our people in our country.